The day my son and his wife hit the $53 million jackpot, they shoved me out the door on, "We don't need your scraps anymore, just disappear." I laughed softly. Did either of you bother to check whose name is actually on that ticket? A gray December morning in Cedar Falls, Iowa, the kind of cold that seeps into your bones. I'm 67, widowed for 2 years, and trudging through the snow to Murphy's Corner store, just like I've done every Friday for 32 years. It's my ritual, buying a lottery ticket with the same numbers I played since 1992. 7, 14, 23, 31, 45. Powerball 18. Those numbers aren't random. They're my life in digits. 7 for the day I married my Harold, 14 for the day Marcus was born, 23 for our anniversary, 31 for the house number where we raised our family, 45 for the years we had together, and 18 for when Marcus graduated high school, full of dreams and promise. I never thought those numbers would become my ticket to freedom. But life's funny like that. At Murphy's, Jimmy, the 25-year-old behind the counter, gives me his usual grin. "Morning, Mrs. Williams, the usual?" I nod, handing over my $5. Jimmy's known me forever, used to sneak Marcus extra penny candy when he was a kid. "Cross your fingers for me, Jimmy," I say, tucking the ticket into my purse. "Always do, Mrs. Williams. You're due for some luck, if only he knew how right he was." Walking home, I passed the house Harold and I shared for 43 years. The new owners painted it yellow. Harold would have hated it. He always said our white house with black shutters looked dignified, like a place where decent people raise kids with values. The irony hits hard because now I'm living with the son we raised in that house, and he's treating me like a burden. Marcus and Ashley call it their guest room, but guests don't hand over their entire Social Security check as rent. I'm basically their live-in maid, minus the paycheck. When I get to their sprawling colonial, complete with a 3-car garage and a kitchen island bigger than my first apartment, Ashley's BMW is in the driveway. Through the window, I see her on the phone, probably planning her next vacation or complaining about me. I slip in through the back door, hang my coat on the hook where Marcus's Little League jersey used to go, and brace myself. "Dot, is that you?" Ashley calls, her voice sharp, like I've interrupted her day just by existing. "Just me?" I reply, biting back the urge to say, "Sorry for breathing your air." Let's rewind a bit. When Harold died 2 years ago, everything changed. Grief blinds you to the vultures circling, especially when one's your own flesh and blood. His funeral was a blur. 45 years of marriage boiled down to a 90-minute service and store-bought sandwiches. Marcus gave a heartfelt eulogy about his dad being a provider, a family man. Ashley wore black, dabbing her eyes at the right moments, though I never saw actual tears. On the drive back from the cemetery, Marcus said, "Mom, you can't stay in that big house alone. It's not practical." Ashley chimed in, "The upkeep, the snow removal. It's dangerous at your age, Dot." Their concerns sounded so real I almost bought it. They convinced me to sell my house and move into their guest room. "It'll be like a cozy hotel," Ashley said, fluffing the pillows on the queen bed. For the first month, it wasn't bad. I cooked dinners, tidied up, stayed out of their way. But then the requests started piling on. "Dot, can you watch Emma and Jake this weekend?" "Dot, grab our dry cleaning." "Dot, handle the cable guy." Slowly, I went from guest to unpaid help. By summer, Ashley's requests were demands, and Marcus had a knack for vanishing when things got tense. Then came the financial arrangement. Ashley sat me down with a spreadsheet, all businesslike, and laid out my share of expenses. $800 for the room, $200 for utilities, $300 for food, $1,300 total, just $50 shy of my Social Security check. "It's only fair, Dot," she said, like she was doing me a favor. I signed in because what choice did I have? An apartment on $50 a month wasn't happening, and the senior housing wait list was 2 years long. Marcus promised it was temporary, but Harold's voice echoed in my head. "Dorothy, when someone shows you who they are, believe them." I should have listened. By fall, I was their full-time housekeeper and nanny for Marcus's kids from his first marriage, Emma and Jake, who visited every other weekend. I love those kids. Their energy, their questions, their joy. But Ashley saw them as a burden, just like me. I overheard her on the phone. It's exhausting having kids here every other weekend. And now with Dot, it's like I'm running a boarding house. That stung, but the real knife came at one of her dinner parties. I'd spent all day cooking and cleaning, serving drinks with a smile. As I cleared glasses, I heard Ashley tell her friend Jennifer, Dot handles all the domestic stuff, watches the kids, and her social security covers her expenses. It's like having live-in help who pays us. Jennifer laughed. You should write a book, How to Monetize Your Mother-in-Law. Standing there with a tray of dirty glasses, something broke inside me. This wasn't family. This was exploitation. But I didn't snap, not yet. I had my lottery ticket, my little weekly ritual, my sliver of hope. And sometimes the universe has a way of balancing the scales. December hit with a blizzard and Ashley's big announcement. They were converting the basement into a mother-in-law suite for me. You'll have so much privacy, she said, spreading out architectural plans like it was a gift. Marcus nodded along. The contractor says it'll be done by spring, Mom. Your own kitchenette, your own entrance, translation. They wanted me out of sight, a problem neatly tucked away. When I asked what if I didn't want the basement, Ashley's smile tightened. We're starting to need our space back, Dot. Marcus added, if you want to explore other options, we'd understand. Other options? With $50 a month? They had me cornered, and they knew it. That Friday, I walked to Murphy's through the snow, more determined than ever. Rough weather, Mrs. Williams, Jimmy said as I stomped off my boots. I've walked through worse, I replied, handing over my $5. As he printed my ticket, I thought about those numbers differently. They weren't just memories anymore. They were my rebellion. Cross your fingers, Jimmy, I said. Always do, Mrs. Williams. This could be your week. That night, I was in bed reading a library book when the lottery numbers came on the 10:59 news. The anchor's voice cut through. Tonight's Powerball jackpot is $53 million. The winning numbers are 7, 14, 23, 31, 45. Powerball 18. My heart stopped. Those were my numbers. I rewound the DVR, hands shaking, and checked again. There they were, printed on my ticket. 7, 14, 23, 31, 45, PB 18, $53 million. I sat there, staring, waiting for it to feel real. My first instinct was to tell Marcus and Ashley, to share the joy. Then I remembered the basement, the $1,300, the dinner party laughter. I slipped the ticket back into my wallet and decided to keep quiet, just for now. Saturday morning was chaos as usual. Emma and Jake were over, fighting over the TV remote. Ashley was off to yoga in the salon, leaving me to handle the kids. Marcus was in his office, avoiding the fray. Then Ashley decided to tidy the kitchen, which meant rummaging through my purse for grocery coupons. Dot, where's those cereal coupons? She called. Side pocket, I replied, distracted. Then her voice changed. Oh my goodness, what is this? I looked up to see her holding my lottery ticket, her face pale. Dot, do you know what the winning numbers were last night? Before I could answer, she was on her phone, Googling. Oh my God, Marcus, she shrieked. Marcus ran in, golf shirt half buttoned. What's wrong? She thrust the ticket at him. Look at the numbers. Marcus's frown deepened as he compared them to her phone. The kitchen went silent, except for Emma asking about pancakes. Mom, Marcus said, do you realize what this means? Oh, I realized. The question was, did they? The next hour was a circus. Ashley was on the phone telling everyone, we won $53 million. Marcus kept muttering, this is real. The kids were buzzing with excitement. Are we rich now? Emma asked. Very rich, sweetheart, Ashley said, spinning her around. They were already spending my money in their heads. Ashley even mentioned upgrading the basement plans, then suggested a nice senior community for me. Marcus nodded. You'd be happier with people your own age, right, Mom? The audacity. They thought the money was theirs to manage, and I was just a problem to solve. I cleared my throat. There's one small detail we should address. They turned expectant. The ticket, I said calmly, is in my name. The silence was glorious. Ashley's face cycled through shock, fear, and calculation. But we're family. That money changes everything for all of us. I stood, holding the ticket. No, it changes everything for me. Marcus tried to reason. Mom, let's not get ahead of ourselves. We're family. We share, I smiled. Like how I've shared my Social Security every month while doing your housework and childcare for free? Ashley's smile cracked. There's been a misunderstanding, Dot. That wasn't rent. It was household expenses. I tucked the ticket away. Then you won't mind if I stop paying since I'm family, not a tenant. By Monday, I was at David Richardson's law office, my old friend and Harold's lawyer. He congratulated me, then dropped a bombshell. Harold knew Marcus and Ashley were in financial trouble, he said, pulling out a file. He hired a private investigator before he died. They're drowning in debt, $47,000 in credit cards, an underwater mortgage, car loans, Ashley's failing business. Harold had also left me a $500,000 trust fund, just in case they tried to exploit me. I sat there stunned. My husband had seen this coming and protected me from beyond the grave. That night, I called a family meeting. Ashley showed up with a binder full of articles about lottery winners going broke, trying to convince me I needed their expertise. Marcus brought wine and fake concern. I laid out the investigator's report, their debts, their reckless spending, their plan to use me. You've been charging me $1,300 a month while I've done $20,000 worth of labor, I said. That's not family. That's exploitation. Ashley cried crocodile tears. Marcus stammered, we never meant it like that. But I was done. I'm moving out, I told him. I've put a deposit on an apartment at Meadowbrook Senior Community, 2 bedrooms, full kitchen, my own space, for less than I paid you. I left them with the truth about their debts and a warning to figure out their finances without my money. As I walked out, I felt Harold's love carrying me forward. Now I'm starting fresh, $53 million richer, with a home of my own and the freedom to live on my terms. Harold always said justice delayed isn't justice denied, just better timed. He was right. Thanks for listening, folks. Hit subscribe, share your story below, and let me know. Have you ever had to stand up to family? Your voice matters.